Hi everyone, welcome to my page. So recently I've been doing a lot of self-reflection and have several questions that I've asked myself to answer honestly. Do I find fault in what I or other people do? Do I set unrealistically high expectations? Am I overly critical of mistakes? Do I seek approval for doing something well? Do I put off or avoid situations that I know may lead to something that will be thought of as a failure? Do I bash myself or question my ability over and over again? Do I shrug off compliments? Do I fail to acknowledge success in myself? Do I take more time to complete different tasks than the task actually requires? And do I obsess over the shoulda, woulda, coulda? I could have done this differently. I should have did that differently. And in answering every one of those questions, it only confirms something that I already knew about myself. And that is that for the longest time, I've been striving to achieve perfection. Perfection does not exist. Albert Einstein once said that the definition of insanity is doing something over and over again and expecting different results. Well, I feel like trying to achieve perfection in my life for all of these years was me living the definition of insanity. Because no matter how hard I tried to do everything perfectly, life doesn't work that way. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. So why was I beating myself up day in and day out for trying to do my best? And even though some days it didn't feel like it was good enough to me, somebody else could have found what I thought really sucked to be something amazing. So last week I got a tattoo and it says perfectly imperfect, and that's because I personally need to remind myself that it is okay to not be perfect at everything, to stop being so critical of myself. Yes, it's okay to have high expectations. I have them of myself. I have them of the people that I love and the people that I surround myself with. I have it of my students when I'm in the classroom. And yet I don't beat up other people when they don't do something perfectly. But yet, for a long time, I would beat myself up for not doing something perfectly, even when I did it pretty damn well. So I got myself a tattoo to remind myself it's pretty cool to be less than perfect. If this world was filled with perfection, we wouldn't see the beauty in the flaws of our world. We wouldn't see that there are some amazing things that stand out due to these other imperfections. So if you are a person who struggles with trying to be perfect, understand that you can be perfectly imperfect and be amazing. Amazing for yourself, amazing for your loved ones, amazing for this world. A lot of people who struggle with mental health are trying to achieve perfection. So sometimes I think back to my life and I wonder, is some of the reason why I went through the worst depression of my life and lived with high anxiety for as long as I did, was it because I was trying to achieve something that is impossible to achieve? And the answer is yes. I've come a long way in my healing, in my journey, and I've tried my best to take what I've learned along the way and pass it on to help other people, in hopes that other people will not suffer nearly as long as I've suffered. And although there are times that I still feel like I could have done a better job at whatever it is that I'm doing at the moment, I know I'm doing the best I can in every given moment of the day, and that's something to be proud of. If I wasn't trying at all, that would be a reason to not accept myself for who I am. But the fact that I put myself out there and I try every day to wake up and do the right thing and do well by others and the ones I love, that's pretty amazing. And so my being perfectly imperfect is something that I'm finally accepting of, and I can finally get rid of feeling like I am living the definition of insanity. And it gives me a lot of gratitude to know that I can wake up each day and allow myself to make mistakes and not live with those mistakes for days on end, beating myself up, because there's always a chance to do it better. And as long as I take a lesson from my mistakes and don't repeat those mistakes, then I'm making progress. And that's all anybody can really ask for, is to make progress, to be better today than we were yesterday. So if you are a person who is struggling with perfection, try and treat yourself the way you would treat other people, and talk to yourself the way you would talk to a friend or a loved one who made a mistake. You wouldn't beat them up for the mistake. You would tell them it's okay and that they could do it again and do it better next time. So remind yourself that you can do the same thing. How we talk to ourselves is really important, and until you change the mindset, how you talk to yourself, you may continue on the journey of striving for perfection. And it's not a fun ride to be on.